Bible entry today using a bunch of the new Bella Boulevard and Illustrated Faith products. So we have tip-ins and washi strips and little designer clips. There's also these fun tabbies. And we also have the clear cuts, which are some transparency pieces, and then a 6x8 paper pad. I'm super excited. I have a really fun story to share with you guys today, and here are the items that I'm going to be using in my entry today. I've chosen a theme that kind of goes with this photo I have of my dad and I, so this story is going to be about him. So I'm using some pinks and oranges and navy blue. So those are kind of the colors, and I'm just cutting out some things that we'll be using. So just a little tip for you guys, when you're using the clear cuts, they have a little film across the top, so make sure you take that off. Now you probably, I don't know if you saw what I did, but the easiest way I have found to get that film off is to lay your piece down and use an eraser and just erase right at the corner, and that eraser will stick to there it is right there. It's going to stick to the film and pull it off. That way you don't have to get your fingernail in there. I just found that's a really easy way to do it. I've been doing that a lot. So thought I'd share that with you guys. So I'm going to use this clear cut as basically a tip in to the page that I'm doing. I've picked a verse, and I am going to do some illustrating on the actual page. Actually, I'm just you'll see what I'm gonna do, but anyway, I'm gonna do kind of a double layered entry today. So some of it's gonna be on top of the clear transparency sheet, and the rest, some of it will be underneath. So the story that I'm sharing today is a story that not a lot of people know, but it's a pretty awesome little nugget that I'm really excited about finally documenting in my Bible, and it's my adoption story. So it's a story really about being chosen and loved. And to a little girl who had no dad she could count on, this was totally a dream come true for me. So just to be clear, though, I wasn't in foster care or taken away from anyone. So my mom is my mom. She gave birth to me. She raised me very well. My brothers and I were very well taken care of. But my bio dad, he just wasn't down with the whole staying sober and keeping a job thing. So he was gone when I was 5 after lots of failed attempts to, get his act together. About 3 years after that, my mom met a man at a country western dance, and they two-stepped right into love. And when they decided to make it a serious thing, we began to go on family dates with his daughter, who was, get this, 35 days older than me. So we hit it off, needless to say. Sometime in 1989, we were all at Thrifty's getting ice cream, and I accidentally called him Dad, and then took it back real quick out of, fear of rejection. Being left by your dad kind of messes you up, and I was hesitant to let him in, but it was really such a natural bond between he and I, and he asked me if I wanted to call him Dad, and I confidently said yes. So from that point, he was my dad. He treated me like his own. He went to father-daughter events with me. He took care of me. He sat next to me and watched TV. And he told me that he loved me. So within the next 3 years, he had moved in, we had moved towns, and he married my mom. So this is 1992, now I'm 12, and now we're talking real talk here. They asked me how I would feel if something happened to my mom and I had to go live with my bio dad, and I was really honest and just told them that I would rather raise myself. But, kind of was like, well, why couldn't I just stay with you? And we talked about what it would mean for him to legally adopt me, and that we would have to go through lots of stages of the process and court, and I was 100% in. So on my mom's birthday, 1993, a judge informed us that my biological father had signed away his parental rights for me, and I was given the best last name a girl could ask for, one that was the same as everybody else's in my house. But that doesn't mean that we all just floated through a meadow into a sun-filled sky. No, that was not how it happened. But there's always strife. It's just the life with parents and teenagers. It's, no different with my family or anybody else's family. But The point of this whole story is just to thank God for my second chance dad. And my poppy is the guy who gave me everything I needed and more. And he's the guy who asked me if I wanted his help to locate my biological dad in case I wanted both of them to walk me down the aisle when I got married. And of course, I just hugged my poppy and told him, I only have one dad, but thanks. So needless to say, he was the only one that walked me down the aisle, and he was really the only one that deserved that privilege. So, he tells me that he loves me more than I could ever know, and God knew exactly what I needed. He knew that I needed this man when I was 8 and at 36, and dang near every moment in between. He is the earthly father that God blessed me with, and I'm forever grateful. So I just am so glad that I finally got a chance to get this down into my Bible. It's something that I've always kind of wanted to make sure I got documented, and for whatever reason I don't have, and I don't know why, maybe just because I was a teenager, but I seem to not have a lot of photos of my dad and I when I was a teenager. Like, it's not like we made this court thing a big huge deal and we dressed up and had family pictures taken or anything like that. So I have a place where I documented kind of my childhood and my story, and I never really got a chance to document our relationship in that book, in that album. So I'm really glad that I got to do it here. So as you can see, what we've done so far is I've just added in a little tip in, and I've glued it right to that transparency that I've used washi tape to adhere to the pages. And I love just I just love what it says, God's fingerprints on my life. So he's always been around. He's always been part of my life, whether I, was reaching out to him or not. So this is just a big, huge thank you to him. Oh, and one little tip here. The Illustrated Faith pens do write really well on the transparencies, but it is slick. So write slowly and then give it a lot of time to dry. So just a little tip for you. So I'm using the Bella Boulevard and Illustrated Faith big and bold letters from the Genesis kit to make the words he and you so that it reads, he gave me you. And then I'm just adding some enamel hearts, just filling in some of that color around, and then I'm checking to see if the words are dry yet. So, and then here on the back where it's kind of hidden, I'm going to write just a little note about, what the entry means to me. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you have a special person in your life, don't forget to journal about them too. So it's really especially special when they were sent from God for you, and it's always a nice place to throw a little I love you out there to somebody who really means a lot to you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. We will talk really soon. Bye, guys.